What topic would you like to talk about here?
Choose one. Ask me anything. I don't care.
Why didn't God command no slavery?
Do what?
Can you hear me?
No, you kind of cut out on me a little bit. You said something about slavery.
Yeah, let's go with the top one. Why didn't God command? Why didn't He just say no slavery?
Are you talking about like in Leviticus, Exodus, back in the Old Testament?
Yeah, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Exodus, even Ephesians in the New Testament, Peter, Timothy.
You want to point me to a specific passage?
Yeah, let's go with Leviticus 25.
Leviticus 25.
Yeah, verse 44 through 46.
King James Bible.
Sure.
Leviticus chapter 25. Okay, what verse?
You could start at 44.
44. Oh, you're going all the way to the end of this, huh? Have you read the whole chapter? Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
do you see it?
yeah, I'm right there.
You see where God is instructing the Israelites that they can have foreigners as slaves and they can own them for life?
Yeah, why do you suppose God is doing these things?
Because He's immoral and He's okay with slavery.
Well, if He was okay with slavery, then why did He free the Jews that were in bondage in Egypt for all those years?
Because He doesn't want His chosen people, the Israelites, to be enslaved. But after He freed them, He turns around and tells them, now you may go out and get slaves. He's totally fine with foreigners, people who are not the Hebrew nation, being enslaved, but He does not want His chosen people, the Israelites, to be enslaved.
Do you know what the difference is between a slave and a servant?
Yeah, I would consider a slave somebody that's owned for life against their will.
Do you consider yourself a slave?
No, nobody owns me.
Oh, really?
And like, even if somebody did own me, that's still bad. So what's your point?
My point is, you don't understand what the Bible is talking about when God is dealing with the nation of Israel and dealing with slavery and servants and bondservants and things of that nature. You just simply assume that God is just a horrible, evil God that is okay with slavery and everything because you don't understand Scripture.
Well, is slavery wrong?
It is wrong to hold anyone against their will and command them to do things that go against them.
Does God know that slavery is wrong?
Do you believe in God?
No, but does your God know that slavery is wrong?
Well, if you don't believe in God, then what are you doing?
This is an internal critique of your beliefs.
Okay.
You believe in God. So does your God know that slavery is wrong?
If He freed the Jews from Egypt, then it's wrong.
What I'm doing is I'm asking you like a yes or no question, and you can say yes because or no because. So usually you answer yes or no and then expound upon the yes or no. So I'm asking you, does your God know that slavery is wrong? And you could say yes because or no because.
Right, and what I'm asking is where you're coming from, because either you're trying to play Satan, yea, hath God said, or you're wanting to genuinely know things of God, or you're just trying to twist words and twist Scripture and take things out of context like a lot of unbelievers try and do. That's where I'm trying to come from. Are you genuinely wanting to know the things of God, or are you just trying to destroy someone's faith in God, playing Satan?
Can you answer my question first, and then I'll answer your question? I don't know where he went. I think he left. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you all. Make sure you guys are spamming the likes, guys. He crashed out hard. I don't know what happened to him. He just... Maybe he dropped out by accident. Let's see. I don't know. Make sure you guys are spamming the shares too, please. Make sure you guys are sharing the live and double tapping the screen.
Yo.
Hey, what's up? Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
All right. Which topic did you want to talk about?
I'm not the most seasoned Christian, though, but I believe in Jesus, though.
Okay. Which topic would you want to talk about?
Knows everything. Do we still have free will?
Yeah. Do you truly believe that you're making choices if God knows everything you're going to do?
Yeah, because it's like, I know a lot of shit. Like, I'm a parent, feel me? I know what my son's going to do every day, but he still got free will.
But you don't know for 100% certainty what
Nah,
your
I
kid
really
will
do. I'm trying to tell you, because, like, you got children?
Yeah, I got a son. Yeah, his name's Champ.
I'm pretty sure, like, I wouldn't doubt your word if you told me what your son is liable to do when he wakes up in the morning, because you're his father. Like, you created him, you raised him.
But the
So
point
it's
the point I'm trying to make is like God has absolute perfect knowledge, but you don't have perfect knowledge like God does, right?
Yeah, but I'm not God, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, how can you, like, if God knows that somebody's going to tell a lie at noon tomorrow, right? Like noon straight up, is that person going to tell a lie at noon?
It still is your choice, though. Like, you can't, just because God knows this decision you're gonna make doesn't mean he's making a choice for you. Because if you wasn't gonna do that lie, he would know you're not gonna lie. Like, it's not his fault that he knows what you're gonna do. You're still making the decision.
So I'm gonna ask you again: if God knows that individual A is going to tell a lie at noon tomorrow, will individual A tell a lie tomorrow at noon?
I answered that question. I just told you.
I'm asking you a yes or no.
Because he made the choice to tell that lie.
Oh, okay. So the person could choose. The person couldn't choose to not tell a lie, right?
I never said that. So you putting words in my mouth.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
He can.
So God could be wrong.
No, because God would already know he's not going to tell the lie. That's where you're getting confused. You're forgetting he's God. He already knows your choice. It's still your choice, though. That's what.
Okay,
you're not
but try to follow along here. Try to track what I'm asking you. Okay.
All right, I'm following.
In this scenario, in this hypothetical scenario, God knows that individual A is going to tell a lie at noon tomorrow. Can that individual not tell a lie, or will he tell a lie?
How are you asking the question? Because I just told you he has the choice to tell the lie or not.
Okay, let me repeat the question. In this scenario, God knows that individual A is going to tell a lie tomorrow at noon. At noon tomorrow, will individual A tell a lie, or can he choose not to tell a lie?
Let me ask you a question. Are you trying to ask me if
answer
God
my question
already,
first?
Can I get clarification? I'm trying to have an adult conversation with you. So can I just get clarification of what you're asking me?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how you're not understanding this, but go ahead and get clarification.
Are you trying to ask me if God already knows that you're going to do something, that means you're destined to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, if that's what you're asking me, I don't believe that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I don't believe just because God knows your choice, that means you was destined to do it. I still believe that you
and I'm trying to
have the choice.
And I'm trying to test that logic. I'm testing it right now by asking you if God knows that, if God has perfect knowledge that individual A will tell a lie at noon tomorrow, can individual A choose to not tell a lie, or will he tell a lie?
This is my third time I'm going to tell you. He already made the choice to tell the lie, so no. How would God know something that you didn't already do?
So it eliminates the option to choose the opposite, right?
No. I just asked you, how would God know something that you didn't already choose to do?
Right. You can't choose the opposite, can you?
Who said you can't? You didn't make the choice yet, so how would God know?
Because if individual A didn't tell a lie at noon, then God was wrong, because God knows he will.
You still have to make the choice.
So what you're saying,
God can't be wrong because he already knows. You're like, it's like you're playing word games, but you're not using your brain.
I agree with somebody in the comments. You're either really dumb or you're just playing disingenuous.
How am I playing disingenuous? I'm trying to tell you we're not God. You're trying to think with a human brain. I'm trying to think with a God brain.
Well, yeah, of course I'm thinking with a human brain. I'm human.
Exactly. So that's our problem. We're not God.
So God is illogical?
Yes, he's above logic, bro. I
So,
thought you would know.
did you know that? You
You're
know
trying
that
to think about God with human logic, bro. That's how you're fucking up.
you know that illogical things don't exist, right?
Oh my gosh, I can't talk to you, bro, if you believe that.
You're telling me that illogical things can exist?
I just told you that, right? It
Like-
sounds like
like a-
you're
like a-
sitting here being,
Like a married bachelor can exist?
yeah,
Somebody can be married and a bachelor at the same time. That can exist in reality.
yeah. Maybe not this reality. You believe this the only reality?
So what about like a square circle? Can
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm answering all your questions. You believe this the only reality?
as far as I know, I'm convinced. This is the only
Exactly.
reality.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. As far as you know, you don't know anything. None of us know anything. We all come on TikTok trying to force the way we think. We don't know nothing.
Okay, so is God illogical in our reality?
I just told you he's above logic. He's illogical to everything, bro. We're
But
not
you realize that illogical things don't exist in our reality.
God. Oh my goodness, bro. He exists outside of our reality, bro. You don't. Oh my.
But I'm asking you about. I'm asking
We
you about.
exist in time, bro. You know God exists outside of time, right?
So God existed for literally 0 seconds.
Now you're being disingenuous. I'm out of here, bro. It was good talking to you.
All right, crash out and run away.
Nah, you want me to stay up?
Well,
You
yeah,
can
but
still talk, but just stop being a kid, though, bro. Because you're gonna
you're
ask me
saying-
if I'm being disingenuous, but you being disingenuous.
How many
like,
seconds?
You don't understand what I'm saying.
how many seconds exist outside of time?
I'm not God.
I didn't ask you if you were God. I asked you how many seconds exist outside of time.
And you know what infinity is? You ever heard of infinite?
Yeah,
God is omnipresent. It's omnipresent.
you're
He's
just
omnipotent.
spouting random
Like-
things now.
All right.
So how many seconds exist outside of time?
You answer. I just told you. What's your
0.
answer?
There is no time outside of time.
What's your answer?
0. There is no time
You know
outside
what
of
zero
time.
is?
0 seconds outside
If you
of
got
time.
stuck in zero, what does that mean?
Stuck in 0? I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, because I'm trying to use your brain now since you said zero, right?
Well, hold
What is
on.
zero then, bro?
Hold on,
Nah,
let's-
what is zero?
0 is like a what do you call it? Like a an
All right,
idea.
what is the
Like an
ending point
idea.
of zero, bro? When you look at zero, where do you
Zero-
start on zero and when do you end?
That question doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make you don't make any sense. Your brain fried, bro. You can't even like come on, bro. Talking to you is like
can you
come
relax? Can you just take a deep breath?
bro, because I'm like, how you up here asking these questions, but you think so
If you,
small?
you don't have to be here, bro. You don't have to be here answering these questions.
I just said I'll leave, but you said you gonna run into. I said
Oh
I'll
yeah,
stay.
you were crashing out. You were like, I can't even talk to you, bro. You said God's outside of
Come
time,
on,
which
bro.
means he
Come
exists.
on, bro.
He doesn't exist outside of time.
Bro,
How many
'cause
seconds?
You're playing games. bro.
Let me ask you this: Is there time outside of time?
Is there time outside of time? How is it gonna be time outside of time?
Right. So, how many seconds did God exist for outside of time?
I just told you he's infinite. He lives outside of time. You keep asking
So
me the same question. I'm
he doesn't.
confused.
So he's literally existed for 0 seconds. Right.
I'm gonna let you answer your own question because you keep asking the same.
Did you want to ask about another topic here? Since I don't know, the whole free will thing is not. It's going over your head. So
Nah, I'm listening. I'm waiting for you to make sense.
do you think that I should go to hell for not believing?
Do I think? My opinion doesn't matter. It's about God. That's why I keep trying to tell you. You keep asking me about me.
So you don't want to
I
answer that
can't
question?
send you to hell. Like, my opinion about you going to hell don't matter. I don't think nobody should go to hell or heaven. Like, that's not up to me.
Oh, you don't think anybody should go to hell? You're better than your God.
If you want to put it like that, shit.
Why don't
Who
let me
wants to go to hell? The fuck?
why don't you want anyone to go to hell?
Because I'm not God. I just answered that. Who am I to cast anybody to hell, bro?
I'm not asking you if you're
Am I
God.
better than you? Nah, I'm asking you a question. Am I better than you?
I don't think anyone's better than me.
So why do I need to feel like anyone needs to go to hell? That's up to God.
Listen, I'm just asking you, should I go to hell for not
I
believing?
know, but I'm answering you and you acting like
All
you
right,
don't
you're gonna.
understand what I'm
So you
saying.
don't want to answer. You don't want to be honest in that topic either. How
I
about
answered your question. I said no.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, how come you have more compassion than God?
I'm not God. Like, if you want to word it like that,
ask
then
you if you were. I said, how come you have more compassion than God?
I don't feel like I have more compassion than God.
But God sends people to hell to burn forever, and you said no, people shouldn't go to hell.
I said I wouldn't send nobody to hell.
Right, but exactly.
But God, worse. Yo.
But God would. You're
bro. Look at it like this, bro. A pedo, a pedo, P3DO, however you say it on here. I wouldn't care if they went to hell, but I'm not the one to do it. You know why? Because I'm a human, bro. Like, I'm nobody to be throwing fucking stones out of glass house, bro. Not saying I'm a PD3O, but we all got our own sins. So it's like, that's what God is for, bro. I'm not here to, oh, you're doing wrong. You should be go ahead. Because then when it's my turn, am I ready to throw myself in hell?
All right, let's talk about how God's morals are trash. You want to talk about that?
Why we can't stick on that? Because it's like,
I tuned you out because you were just preaching, so I kind of tuned you out.
Of course you did.
So let's talk about how God's morals are trash. Do you believe that God has good morals?
It's not about what I believe, once again.
So you're just not going to answer any questions, basically?
I'm answering your questions. You don't like my answers.
Do you think God is all good?
Do I think he's all good? Our perception of good and bad is fucked up.
So you just can't answer a question, can you?
When it comes to God, I just told you he's above our logic, so it's hard for me to answer things with human logic when it comes to God.
Is God
why are you getting irritated that I'm not answering things the way you want me to?
Because it's a little frustrating. Because it's just I believe you're not being.
I'm not
honest.
trying to dictate the conversation. You are like you get mad. I'm not giving you the answers you want.
I don't believe you're being honest. Is God capable of doing bad things?
Bro, it's like we're talking about a God, bro. Like, do you not understand? Like,
yeah, we're talking about God. Yeah,
we're not talking about another human being. We're talking about.
I'm glad that you're tracking that. At least he's tracking that we're talking about God. Yeah, like, so is God capable of doing bad things,
bro? What is bad to you?
Like undesirable or unpreferable.
Undesirable, unpreferable. What's undesirable and unpreferable to you?
Unnecessary harm.
Unnecessary harm. What's unnecessary harm to you?
It's harm that doesn't need to happen. So is God capable of doing unnecessary harm?
So
can God do bad things?
You tell me. I just told you. I'm not the one that you talking about God. I don't go to church every day. I told you that I'm not the most seasoned Christian, but I believe in God.
You're just clearly not engaging. You don't want to answer a single question. That's fine. He's not being honest. He can honestly answer those questions, but he doesn't want to. Hello, Hey, how are you doing? Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
All right. Which topic would you like to discuss here?
Probably God's morals are trash.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about some of God's morals. Do you think that if a woman is raped or assaulted, do you think that she should be forced to marry her attacker?
Well, before I answer that, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. Do you believe in subjective morality?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, morality is subjective, yeah.
So, because I'm not here to make an affirmative claim. I just want to critique the claim that God's morals are trash. What standard are you using to...
My empathetic standard.
Well, don't you see how that could kind of be, go in a circle?
But what's the problem with that?
Well, because something is subjective, it can't really be proven, right?
Okay, so it's my opinion that do you agree? It's my opinion that a woman shouldn't be forced to marry a rapist. Do you agree with me?
Well, whether I agree or not, you can't justify the opinion if it's subjective. So the claim that God's morals are trash, it's kind of a useless thing to say.
So you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Let's go over some of God's morals, and you tell me if you agree with me or not.
Well, whether I agree, it's irrelevant to the.
So then why, if you don't want to talk about this topic, why did you bring it up?
No, I do want to talk about it.
Oh, well, let's talk about it. So do you think that a woman should be forced to marry her attacker?
Hold on. You don't have to particularly have the view that you're explaining in a debate.
So do you not want to engage in this topic or not?
Well, I am trying to engage the point. I'm trying.
Okay, well then answer the question. Do you think a woman should be forced to marry her rapist or attacker?
It doesn't matter what I think.
So this is like the third Christian that's come up here has just refused to engage honestly and answer a question.
I'm not making the affirmative claim.
I'm asking you a question, sir. I'm
not
asking
relevant.
you.
It's not relevant.
You brought this topic. You asked. You said you want to talk about God's morals, and I'm trying to talk about some of the morals of God. Let's talk about it.
I'm trying to explain to you that you don't have any standard to call anything trash or not.
All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and give the argument for objective morality. Go ahead.
I'm not even trying to defend objective morality. I'm just trying to
is your morality objective?
Mine is objective. Yeah.
You get your morality objectively from the Christian God.
Yeah.
So the Christian God says that a woman should be forced to marry her graper. Do you agree with that?
But again, I'm not advocating for objective. I'm not trying to convert you to Christianity.
So you just don't want to engage at all. You just don't want to engage at all.
I am engaging. I'm trying to explain to you that you're prompt. Like, listen, can we take a step back? Just
okay, sure.
I'm not like. I swear, I'm not trying to be like disrespectful to you or trying to like be dodgy.
I don't think you're being disrespectful. I just think you're not being very honest.
Like, okay, pretend I'm an atheist for the sake of.
I don't want to play devil's advocate. I want to have a genuine conversation.
Yeah, like genuinely, I'm trying to.
So
say,
your morality is objective from the Christian God. Here's something that your God says is moral and that should be done. So let's talk about it. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that a woman should be forced to marry her rapist?
But again, like I said, I'm not advocating for objective morality.
I don't have time for people who don't want to defend God's morals. So, guys, if you're a Christian and you actually want to defend God's morals, or if you want to come up here and actually answer questions, go ahead and send a guest request. I'm really getting aggravated with that. I'm sorry. I just don't have the patience anymore. Like, seriously, come up here and answer, like, honestly, like, engage in the topics. Like, this has been like 30 minutes of this, just people coming up here and saying, just being like slimy and squirmy and not really being honest and genuine with the way they want to discuss the topics. The Bible never said to marry a rapist. Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 22:28. It says, if a man meets a virgin who is not engaged and seizes her and lies with her and they are discovered, the man who lay with her shall give 50 shekels of silver to the young woman's father, and she shall become his wife. Because he violated her, he shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. So if a woman is seized and violated by a man, she is forced to marry her attacker. And that's what your God's morality says is good. God's morals are trash. But go ahead and keep spamming the likes, guys. It's good to see you all. Thank you for the gifts, everybody. I'm trying not really to pay attention as much to the phone. I'm really not trying to pay attention too much to the comments or the phone. Hello, are you a Christian?
Yes.
All right, which topic would you like to discuss here?
It never says to marry a rapist.
So you want me to read it again?
I already read it.
What does it say?
You already read off.
If a man
It's
meets
about fornication.
if a man seizes and violates a woman, she has to marry him.
It doesn't say if he sees and violates her, but
All right,
yeah.
let me read it again. Let me read it again, okay? And then I want you to stop me when I say the word seize really quickly, and then I want you to stop me when I say the word violates really quickly.
I know it says both.
Oh, but you said it didn't say both. You literally
No,
just 10 seconds ago you said it doesn't say seize or violate, but now you're saying that it does say.
Do you have that on recording?
Yes, it's recording right now, yeah.
Well,
Literally 15 seconds ago you said
you were
it didn't.
mixing up the words was the issue.
Oh, what word? Okay, when it says seize, what does that mean?
It means fornication.
So, like, anytime somebody has sex, a woman's being seized?
Yes.
What?
It's outside of marriage.
And violated? What's violate mean?
It basically means to take the woman's virginity.
So even if a woman, even if a virgin consents, she's being violated.
You violate her by doing it outside of marriage.
But even though a virgin consents, she's being violated. You're saying
because it's outside of marriage, yes.
Okay, so if a woman consensually has sex with somebody, you think she should be forced to marry that man?
Yeah, the man too.
You think that a woman who engages in consensual sex outside of marriage should be forced to marry that man?
Yes.
That is trash.
That's not trash.
That's
at
trash.
All.
That's
no,
trash.
It's not. How's it trash?
That's trash, bro. Like,
How's
okay,
it
so
trash, bro?
so like if your sister has a boyfriend, they've been dating for like a week, and she engages consensually in sex, you think that she should be forced to marry that boyfriend, even if he turns out to be an abusive prick?
Yeah, they should pick people to do that with. They shouldn't just go around.
So you want to force your sister to marry a man who's an abusive, physically abusive prick?
Well, that's not my job. That's the job of the government and their father.
No, I'm asking you about God's morals here, because according to God's morality and according to your worldview, if a woman consensually consents to sex outside of marriage, she should be forced to marry that man, even
Yes.
if he's physically abusive.
I mean, physically abusive people.
This is
probably
trash. This is straight up
executed.
trash. You think that your sister has sex with a man she's known for a week, she's dating him for a week, she has sex with him consensually, he turns out to be physically abusive. He slaps her around, chokes her with his belt, pours hot boiling water on her, physically abuses her, and you think she should be forced to marry him?
What are you even on about, bud?
I'm testing your logic here. You said that a woman
My
should be...
logic.
Yeah,
I mean,
according to you,
people consensually marry people who act that way after they get married. So what's your point? This is stupid.
Do you think that a woman who consents to have sex with a man outside of marriage should be forced to marry him, even if he's physically abusive?
If he's physically abusive, why did they do it?
Maybe she didn't know at the time. A lot of times people, a lot of times they don't turn out to be
A lot
abusive.
of times people do it before. A lot of times.
I'm
people
not
get
asking
married
you
and
about
they don't know.
before.
Well, what's the difference between regular marriage? People can be abusive in a regular marriage too.
But the whole point is, I don't think anyone should be forced to marry anybody. You do. That's the difference.
Yeah, I do, because it fixes society. It's
Even if
messed
the
up.
person is physically abusive, you think that a woman should be forced to marry a physically abusive man?
Sorry, I can't see the future that he's physically abusive.
I'm asking
Neither can
you,
anybody.
according to God's morals here in your little evil book, do you think that
Your little
God,
evil book.
do you think that
okay.
do you think that a woman should be forced to marry a physically abusive man if she consents to sex outside of marriage?
Do you think that women who have sex with dudes outside of marriage just keep doing that with a bunch of different dudes, never get married?
I think anybody should be willing to do whatever they want to do consensually.
Yeah, and that's cringe. That ruins society.
No, what's more cringe is you just said you want your sister to be forced to marry to a physically abusive man.
You just added
some
that
fucking
stupid
brother you
physically
are.
abusive stuff. Yeah.
Oh well, let me
You
ask
just
you.
added
Let me
that
ask you.
physically
Okay,
abusive
let me
stuff.
ask you the question again. Then, do you think that your sister should be forced to marry a physically abusive man if she consented to having sex outside of marriage?
A physically abusive dude would probably be killed. So what a stupid question.
So you're not going to answer it because you know it's fucked up. You know
You're not going to answer it?
You know God's. Can you relax, sir? Are you going to crash out?
Can you relax? You're
Are you
really
gonna
saying I'm not answering it? Are
you
you
gonna-
this daft?
Are you about to crash out right now? Thank you, Benny. Appreciate
Are
it.
you?
Yeah. Okay. So is that a good law, sir?
Yeah, it's a great law.
It's a good law that a woman should be forced to marry a man that sees.
It's an amazing law.
Come on, don't troll.
I'm
Be
not.
honest. Be
It's an
honest.
amazing law.
What about like when God says that you can go out to war and capture women and force them to be your brides?
Yeah, that was in some instances.
Is that good?
At the time it was.
Well, not like God's morals are forever, right?
Yeah, they are.
So then why are you saying at the time? If it's good, if God's morals are forever, then if it's good then, it's good now.
There's different instances for stuff. Sometimes God commands stuff for different times.
Is it ever good to capture a woman and make her your wife?
If you just killed the entire male population of a nation, that'd probably be the best thing.
But couldn't you just let her go?
And do what? You control her country now.
But but the verse says you can let her go anyways. So like it says you can capture her and make her your wife, and if you're not pleased with her, you can let her go. So wouldn't it be better just to let her go in the first place as opposed to capturing her and going into her and graping her?
Well, it's not grape. You'd be married to them.
Well, it says that after you capture her, you can cut off her hair and cut off her clothes, and after she mourns for her parents for a full month, you can go into her and make her your wife.
Well, no, you don't cut off her hair and her clothes. That was her. She would do that when she was
No,
mourning.
it says you bring her home to your house, and you shall shave her head and cut off her nails, and then she will remain in your house a full month, and after that, you can go into her and make her your husband. There's no consent there. She's been
For your
captured.
husband.
Yeah, did she consent to that?
Not to be my husband, no, but she would be the wife.
So is that good to go out and capture women and force them to be your brides?
I mean, if it's of some sick pagan nation.
By pagan, you mean somebody who doesn't worship your God?
Yes.
So you think that just because somebody doesn't worship your God, that it's okay to capture them and force them to be your wives?
I mean, if God commanded it.
Yeah, so you're like, basically you would do anything God commanded is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So if God commanded you to go to your neighbor's house and kill their babies, you would do it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is insane. This is why God's morals are trash, and you people are just insane.
Well, I mean, your morals are trash too. It's not like you're any better.
I would never kill a baby. I would never capture a
I would
woman.
never kill a baby. Well, I mean, you
just said you would. You just said you would.
You only wouldn't because you kind of just don't feel like it.
You just said
like
you would kill a baby.
Yeah, if God commanded it, but he's never.
Yeah, I would never kill a baby. I would never kill a newborn baby ever.
Well, I mean, you just don't feel like it. That's the difference. God's forever, and your morals change.
My morals change based on like progression and being better to society. That's the thing. Like your book is evil and will never change. So whatever God says to do, you'll do it.
Well, my book isn't evil; it's holy.
Is killing babies evil?
Well, we don't kill babies.
I didn't ask you.
You guys do.
I didn't ask
you. You guys actually do. That's the funny part.
I've never killed a baby.
Well, I mean, you guys support abortion, though, right?
Oh, so like you're okay with abortion, but you're not killing newborn babies.
Against abortion.
But so you're against abortion, but you're fine with killing newborn babies.
No, God's against killing newborn babies. So
no, he commands it. He commands it in 1 Samuel 15.
He doesn't command it for us.
In 1 Samuel 15:3, God commands people to kill babies. So you can't sit there and say that God's against killing babies.
Well, I mean, he doesn't command us to kill babies right now, so.
But you can't say he's against it.
He is.
How is he against it when he's clearly shown that he is for it when he commanded it?
Are we killing babies right now? I mean, who's against all the baby murder?
How is God against killing babies when he commanded babies to be killed?
That was at a time, so,
How is God against killing babies when he commanded it? That's what I'm asking you.
Because he's against it right now.
How is God against it when he commanded it to be done?
He commanded against it right now. He's against murder.
But he's against murder. Okay, define murder really quickly.
Killing of innocent human beings.
Are babies innocent?
Those ones weren't.
Which ones?
The ones he commanded to be killed.
Which ones were they?
I can't remember the story.
So if you don't know who they are and you don't know the story, how do you know that they weren't innocent?
It was of a pagan nation, so I trust that God has insight.
Who were they?
Huh?
Who were they?
Doesn't matter now.
But so what you're saying is they weren't innocent. You're saying I don't know who they were and I don't know the story, but they weren't innocent. Well, who were they?
Yeah.
And what was the story?
I don't know. Some pagan nation Israel had to invade.
So by pagan you mean just not believing in your God, right?
Bingo.
So you think that babies who are incapable of believing in God should be murdered?
Well, like your thing says at the bottom, if God knows everything. Well, I mean, if God knows everything, then they could all be Hitler.
Pivot.
That's a pivot. They could all be Hitler. What's your point?
That's a pivot fallacy.
What are you talking about? Pivot fallacy. They were all Hitler.
Okay, if murder is defined as unjustified killing, and you said God's against murder, wouldn't you consider killing newborn babies unjustified killing?
No, God justifies it. He's the judge.
Heck, okay, I would love for you to explain how it's justified to kill a newborn baby.
It's little Hitler.
What? So why wouldn't God just command little baby Hitler to be taken away from where he'll grow up, and he wouldn't even become Hitler?
They were going to become Hitler either way. There's no stopping.
How is it possible that Hitler becomes Hitler if he grows up in fucking, I don't know, Detroit, Michigan?
Well, I mean, all the babies would know that their entire people were killed, so there's no getting around it.
How do babies know the concept?
Well, I mean, when they grow up, it's going to be in the history books. We killed your entire nation.
How would the baby know that was their nation?
Well, I mean, they'd probably figure out.
You don't always have to kill baby Hitler, right? You can just take baby Hitler away from his surroundings and his environment, and he wouldn't grow up to be baby Hitler. He'd be somebody else.
I mean, we don't know that. We've never experienced reality where baby Hitler doesn't.
We do know that if you take baby Hitler Out of 1920s, what year was he born? 1913 or something. If you take baby Hitler out of infancy and take him to fucking Montana, he's not going to grow up to be the Hitler that we know today.
Maybe he's, just predestined to be Hitler, no matter where he is.
Oh, okay. So then you don't have free will. Got it.
We probably have like will according to.
No, it's all predestined. Like you said, it's predestined. There's no free will. Gotcha.
It's like pre-post.
No. God created Hitler and predestined all the Jews to die in the Holocaust. Gotcha. Great. God's great. Yeah, God predestined. God predestined the entire Holocaust. God predestined the entire Holocaust. Thank you.
I mean, it happened.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, and God predestined it according to you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, pre-post. It's our fault, though.
Okay. Did you want to talk about any other topics on here?
Let me see. You think morals are subjective?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Because I have seen no evidence that morals are objective.
So then, is anything objectively wrong then? How could God's morals be trash?
Okay, go ahead and demonstrate that God's objective morality is good.
Well, I mean, if they're subjective, then there is no good.
That's not true.
It is true.
No, like, I think killing newborn babies is wrong. Do you agree or disagree?
I'd agree.
Oh, but so then you disagree with God.
No, I don't.
Because God thinks it's okay sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
So you think it's okay to kill newborn babies sometimes?
Well, I mean, if it's according to God's will, yeah.
Yeah, so you think that it's... Like, I would say that it's always wrong to kill newborn babies. But you can't say that. So there's your Christian objective morality. Your Christian objective morality does not allow you to say that it's always wrong to kill newborn babies. My subjective morality allows me to say that.
Yeah, but your subjective morality is just like, purple's my favorite color, but why is it the best
colors aren't moral statements.
Yeah, but it's subjective.
Well, I'm talking about moral statements, not what my favorite fucking color is, or pizza, or flavor. Talking about
but it's subjective just the same. There's no accurate, best moral ethic.
So is it always wrong to have an abortion?
I would say so, but I believe in objective morals.
But God says it's okay to kill babies sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's not always wrong to kill babies. So as a pro-life Christian, will you say, my name is Crescito and I'm a pro-life Christian, and as a pro-life Christian, it's sometimes okay to kill babies?
Yeah, when God says so.
Yeah, so as a pro-life Christian, it's sometimes okay to kill babies. That's a wild statement.
Well, I mean... Again, I'm still asking how you know your morals are the best, because that also...
I never claimed they were the best. I never claimed that they were the best. I acknowledge
how can any others be worse?
I acknowledge that it's just my opinion. It's my opinion. It's my subjective, empathetic opinion that it's wrong to kill newborn babies, and you don't agree. You think that it's okay sometimes.
Well, then how can your opinion be, valid?
It doesn't have to be valid. We all have. That's the whole thing. That's why I say subjectives are. That's why I say morals are subjective, because you haven't really tried, but I have yet to see anybody demonstrate that morality is objective, independent of mind or stance. Can you give the argument for the Christian objective morality being true?
Well, I mean, it's just a view of morality.
So it's just an opinion. That's subjective.
Opinions can be subjective, but the truth is objective.
Okay, demonstrate that.
Objective morality.
Demonstrate that the Christian morality is objective.
Well, I believe in the Christian God, and if He's real, then it is objective.
So you have to believe in it for it to be true.
Well, I mean, I don't have to believe
that's
the
subjective.
Earth is round for it to be true.
If you have to believe in Christianity for the morality to be objective, then that's by definition subjective.
Well, it's objective whether or not you believe in it.
Okay, prove that.
How do you want me to prove it? What are you looking for?
You're the one making the claim. That's your job. It's not my job.
Yeah, but I don't know what your standards are.
I just told you my standard is my empathy. So if you're making the claim that Christian morality is objectively true, that's your job to prove it. You can't ask me to help you prove it. I don't believe it's true.
Yeah, but what's your standard for proof?
Something that's verifiable and testable and repeatable.
Well, you can't do anything. You can't prove anything in history then.
What do you mean you can't prove anything in history? We can't prove that World War II?
You can't verify and test and repeat things that have already happened.
We can't verify that World War II happened?
Not with repeatable testing.
Well, yeah, we can verify documents. We can verify footage. We have relics.
See, now you have documents and footage. That's not...
Yeah, all that stuff is testable. And all that stuff is testable and verifiable, yeah.
Well, then you're relying on the documents and footage then. We have documents of the Bible.
That is a good standard of evidence, yeah. It's a good that's very good quality of evidence to prove that World War II happened.
I'd say the Bible is good quality evidence.
Okay, give me some evidence that the Bible's true.
Well, I mean, it's documentation just like yours.
What's the evidence that the Bible is true?
It's documentation.
Like, no, you're saying like the Bible itself proves the Bible?
Yeah, the Bible proves Christianity.
That's circular. You're saying Christianity. You're saying Christianity is true because the Bible says so. What is your evidence that the Bible is true?
Well, what do you mean? Evidence that the Bible is true? It's a documentation. They, affirm each other.
What does? What affirms each other?
Well, all the. I don't know. What are they called? Manuscripts. All the manuscripts affirm each other.
So more pieces of paper. You're saying that my book that says some stories is true because some other pieces of paper says so.
Yes.
What?
I mean, that's how we get all history. You know that, right?
No, that's not how we get all history.
Okay, well then, how do you prove World War II? Actually, let's be better.
You look at video footage of it.
How do you prove the Revolutionary War then?
We have the artifacts, we have the relics, we have coins with George Washington's face on it, we have the Constitution, we have the
we have
rights.
Paintings of Christ.
How does that prove that Jesus rose from the dead? How does a painting of Christ?
How does your stuff prove the Revolutionary War then?
Okay, so I see what you're doing here. So saying that a war happened, right, is very different than saying that a human being rose from the dead after 3 days, right? You understand that there's like two different...
you're just skeptical of supernatural events. Yeah.
So like if you say a war happened, I've got no reason to not believe that, right? Yeah, sure, wars happen. But if you say Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and I asked you, how do you prove that? You say there's a painting of him. How does a painting of Jesus prove that he rose from the dead?
Good point. We also have the apostles who were martyred for Christ as well.
How do you know that's true? How do you know that those people actually saw Jesus rise from the dead? It's just more stories, and also that's the Bible again. That's just the Bible. You're saying the Bible. That's circular.
Well, it's documentation.
How do you prove that it happened?
How do you prove a war happened? Just like this again. I mean,
but a war is not a supernatural claim. There's two different claims. I'm claiming something that actually is known to happen in our reality. War. You're claiming...
Well, you'd just believe me if I said there was a war in 1852 in
I would have
Wisconsin.
no reason. I'd have no reason not to believe that. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, okay, a war happened. Yeah, I mean that happens. It happens all the time. So yeah, I have no reason not to believe that.
I have a news flash for you.
If you
there
told
was no
me
war in 1852 Wisconsin, as I just claimed.
But if you told me that, listen, George Washington ate a sandwich one time, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe that. I've got no reason not to believe that. So that happens. But then if you said, and after he ate the sandwich, he died, and then 3 days later he rose from the dead out of his grave as a zombie. At that point, I'd say, whoa, well, I need more evidence of that. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just not convinced that happened. And if the best evidence,
why does your standard for evidence suddenly get higher?
Because extraordinary claims like a resurrection requires much more extraordinary evidence than just saying that it happened.
Well, I mean, what type of extraordinary evidence am I supposed to give that a guy resurrected?
That's your job. You're claiming Jesus rose from the dead. It's your job to provide the evidence. You're asking somebody who doesn't believe it happened to help you with the evidence?
Well, no, I'm actually going to ask you in this way. If it did happen, say it did happen, okay? Say a guy really resurrected 2,000 years ago, and you knew that. How would you tell me about that?
if I knew what happened and I had no way of proving it, I would just say I saw it and there's no way for me to prove it.
Well, I mean, you didn't see it, but you knew it happened. You just know. Maybe you used a time machine and you come back, but you don't have any. You didn't take any evidence from the past.